What causes the death of children, permanent brain damage in adults, and quite possibly the death of famous classical composer Beethoven? The answer is lead poisoning. Lead was once used in gasoline and paint up until 1978 when it was officially banned in the United States. However, many of the older homes still have this dangerous element lurking around in it, waiting for its next victim. It can be often seen as peeling or flaking paint on the interior or exterior of your home. In addition, it could be as small as a dust particle that is breathed into your body. Lead is very serious, and according to Dr. Bernard Gesch, it is a very dangerous neurotoxin that has a range of effects on the brain. Therefore, lead can have a profound impact on the health of you and your family. As an EPA-trained lead-certified technician, I understand the dangers of lead, as well as why they have policies and procedures in place to protect our customers and their loved ones. In addition, I've done my own lead safety projects. And now, there are 3 reasons why it is imperative to have a certified company handle lead issues in your home. And that is because they have the training to do so. It can seriously impair adults, and it kills children. Now, to begin with, let me just reaffirm that it is vital that before beginning any repairs or trying to remove any lead in your home, you absolutely must call a lead-trained company. And that is because they have undergone the schooling to handle that. The EPA training involves foundational aspects like mitigating lead, containment in the home when they're working around lead hazards, as well as disposal. Often homeowners will not even know what to look for or even how to test for lead. And this can be especially relevant when they're trying to do home improvements or renovations where lead may be present. In addition, let me just give you an example. Say, for instance, you see paint on the outside of your home and you begin to scrape that onto the ground, or if you start to sand that and the dust particles go airborne. Well, that can not only impact you, but your neighbor, your pets, anyone that comes in contact with it. So now that we've looked at why you shouldn't just jump in and start doing a home improvement project where lead may be present, but rather why it's important to have a certified firm out there doing that for you, let's look at some of the dangers to adults. Depending on the level of exposure, lead can have a myriad of effects on adults. For example, it can affect your central nervous system. In a study on cumulative exposure to inorganic lead, Balbus, Kornfeld, Bola, Schwartz, and Stewart noted that increased lead exposure can decrease neurobehavioral test scores. Now, what that means is that lead can slow your thinking down and essentially make you dumber. Second, it causes fatigue, nervousness, and irritability. Recently, I viewed a video by Discovery Channel, and they discussed in that video how lead, once it enters the body, it goes in there under the guise of being something valuable. So essentially, it tricks your body into thinking it's something good. Your body then distributes this dangerous neurotoxin throughout your entire body system, and that can have a serious impact on the health of adults. So now that we've looked at how it impacts adults, let's look at who is most vulnerable, and that's small children. When it concerns lead in children, just this year, 28 kids were killed in Africa from drinking out of a lead-contaminated water source from the mining industry. So not only does lead affect their system, it can kill your kids. The greatest at risk when it concerns lead exposure is the unborn and small children. This is because they're still developing their bodies. In fact, Dr. Shine Vyas noted that each year in the United States, 310,000 1 to 5-year-olds have unsafe levels of lead in their blood. And this is just what's discovered. Most of the customers I deal with have no idea about this silent killer. Second, If you're in an older home, kids that are present there are in danger. And that's because lead wasn't banned until 1978. According to the EPA, 87% of homes built before 1940 and 69% of homes built between 1940 and 1960 have lead in them. So not only does lead, is it in the house, but kids, they can get contaminated through drinking water that's contaminated, eating lead, or breathing in the dust. Now, kids will often eat lead because it has a sweet taste to it. Or if they're outside playing in the dirt and lead is falling off the exterior of a home, it gets on their hands. Or if they're in a home where there's exposure and it's on windowsills where it's commonly found, and they put their hands in their mouths, they can get poisoned that way. In addition to lead causing death in children, it also has a severe effect on their neurological system. In fact, Mount Union Pediatric Hospital noted that learning problems in school, slurred speech, aggressive behavior, they're just a handful of the problems that lead exposure can cause in children. So now that we've looked at the dangers of lead to small children, let's look at what solutions are available to us. As can be seen, lead is dangerous and not to be treated lightly. Therefore, utilizing these solutions is an important part of ensuring the health of you and your family. First, awareness is key. If you live in a home built before 1978, then you can safely assume that there may be lead present. Therefore, before beginning any repairs or trying to remove it, you absolutely must call a lead certified company so they can come out and they can test that with an EPA approved kit. Now, this is what lead looks like. This is what can kill your children and permanently impair adults. Can you believe that? Now, before calling just any company, you want to make sure that they have the EPA approved seal here. This ensures that they've actually undergone the required training to even be in your home dealing with it. If you have any further questions, you can get on the EPA website for more information. But again, before attempting to repair or remove lead out of your home, you absolutely need to contact somebody that has undergone the training. Now, the EPA requires contractors to wear a full body suit, a mask, gloves, and goggles, or they're not compliant. This actually ends up protecting his family when he goes home. Now, if he's not compliant or a contractor is not compliant and they're out there doing that, they can actually be fined $37,000 a day. That's how serious this is. I repeat, do not disrupt lead surfaces without calling a certified company. In other words, the training is there for a reason, and that is to offer you and your family the most protection against contamination and exposure. Without it, you're putting your family in danger. Given these points, handling lead is best left to professionals who have had the proper EPA-approved training and experience to deal with it. Altogether, I've shown you not only the reasons why you shouldn't jump in and handle it yourself, as well as the dangers to adults and children, but why you should contact a certified company that has had the training to do it. With your cooperation, lead doesn't have to take another child's life. This silent killer can be silenced once and for all.